Welcome everyone to another episode of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It has been a good long period where I've had another vehicle, but the first vehicle that we had on Planes, Trains, and Automobile was a Tesla Model 3. And it essentially was just trying it out, trying to figure out if this was something that we wanted to get into as far as the electric vehicle market. Today we have settled on a Tesla Model S. And we are here in this lovely subdivision getting the charge while I do this video. So as we get ready to get into this video, we'll talk to you a little bit about what we like about the Model S and some of the things that you should be concerned with or think about before purchasing your first EV, especially if it's a Tesla. There's some things that we've learned now from having the Model 3 a while back to deciding if we were going to get it, to getting this Model S. So let's get around and look at this beautiful car. Number one, yes, this is a used Tesla. I feel like in this point in day, regardless if it's used or new, you're not dealing with engines, transmissions, all those different things like that. So, you know, you think about a used car with mileage, most people are like, oh, I don't want to get it with 100,000, or I don't want to get it with X amount of miles. And that is true when you're thinking about a regular gas or ICE car, we should call it. But in this case, it's electric. There's a few components that you need to worry about, but for the most part, you don't have to hustle and bustle and thinking about those things. Oil change, out the window. Transmission fluid, out the window. There's a lot of things that are out the window, but necessarily needed within this EV car are thinking about the electric cost and all those different things like that. If you have not already seen our first Planes, Trains, and Automobile segment where we went at the Model 3, I talk a little bit about that, but this one will be a little bit more in depth because we own the Model S. Let's go inside. So let's talk about the Tesla Model S. Tesla Model S is their flagship model for all their cars. You have the Model 3, you have the Model X, the Model Y, and the Model S. I know Tesla is toying around with a more cheaper, smaller version, I believe, but right now there are the 4 that are out there, and we are in their flagship model. This model comes in the base of an S60, which is the smallest battery that they have, all the way up to a 100D model, which is the highest battery they have. Now this all depends on the mileage and range and what you drive daily. It depends on what you should buy this car with. I mean, you know, right now during the time when a lot of people aren't working, are working from home, they're not driving to the office as much, or at all, maybe having the S60 is a good value for you, and it's enough to get you into the Tesla industry and the Tesla family without having to break the bank per se, or you can go all out with the performance model, however you choose to do it. But one of the great things that I love about the car is its sleekness, its body style. The Model 3 that we had previously, that you've seen in the other video, it was about the same size as my wife's Mercedes CLA 250, and she did want something a little bit bigger. So she liked the Tesla, just wanted something bigger. So we saved a little bit more, and we got the Model S, and I couldn't be more ecstatic about the Model S. I drove it one time at a test place in the Domain here in Austin, and that was years ago. So to go from years ago test driving one to just flat out owning one, there was a lot that we had to learn about this, and a lot that she had to learn, and you know, our daily driving habits versus our daily charging habits, and there's just a lot to learn about it and a lot to adjust your mind to when you don't have to worry about going to a gas station. So we'll go into a little bit of this interior of this feature, which is one of the greatest things that I like about this car. As you can see, this is the Model S60. Currently it is charging. I came to this subdivision and they do have a free charging space. So I'm doing that while I'm doing this video. As you can see on the side of the screen here, that the front trunk is open and the back trunk is open. Yes, there is no engine. For anyone who may be watching this video and did not truly understand what a Tesla was, there is no engine. It is all battery operated. It's an electronic vehicle. Right now you can see we're at 137 miles and charging. We're charging at a Tesla destination charger, so we are getting about 26 miles an hour which again, I'll go in another video about the charging portions of that. So we'll come over to our massive screen. Hopefully it's not jittery in the video for you. It looks like it from here, but this is our control unit. This pretty much takes care of everything in the vehicle, from the unit itself, being able to turn the lights on and off, fold your mirrors, press the fold button. You have your lights, headlights, auto, dome. Those are pretty much your quick controls up there. But then you have your driving. And one of these great features, if you're low on battery and mileage, you can change the acceleration to chill, because these cars do get up. They are very fast. And you can stop the acceleration of that and put it on chill mode, and your steering and how you brake. When we got the car, everything was on standard, and I'll be honest, the standard braking was a little too hard for me. Like, it's like you have to put one toe on there to stop, because if not, you truly come to a stop. It's kind of how it feels in the autopilot. I'm okay in the autopilot because I would rather it stop a little bit harder and a little bit further away when it's doing it on its own versus me doing it ourselves. Next, you get to the autopilot. Yes, this is a used Tesla, but it did come with the autopilot. There are some, I believe, 2013 models out there that don't have it, but this one has autopilot on it, with auto steer, summon, speed limit display, all those different things like that. Here, from the vehicle situation, you can have your doors automatically lock when you walk away and the key isn't present. That is a very, very cool feature. Also, unlock on park. The driver door unlocks. Now, I keep this on. Whenever you go and park, it opens the door for you, which is okay. You just gotta get used to that. The only thing I don't too much necessarily care about is if I have the key in my pocket and I walk away for a second, I come back, the door opens all the time, especially if I don't want it open, but it does that. And I think you can turn that off as well. Then of course you can tilt mirrors, all those different things like that. Display. This right here is one of the ones that we are on right now. We keep it on energy saving, so that it doesn't do things like cool the cabin if we don't need it to, because again, I'm pretty much, parked in the garage, so we don't always need that. Your time base and stuff. This right here was great for my wife when we got it, because you can look from an energy perspective, and if I go back here, it says 73% charge. And when you're driving day to day, you may not understand how much battery power or how long it's going to take for you to get someplace. So having it on distance keeps you in the know of how many miles you have left on your car, which is really great. You have all your tire pressure, of course your trips, your navigation. You can turn the voice on and off and how loud you want it. Safety and security, service, and then software. This car does software updates, and we are on the latest software at the moment. It gives you exactly what the car looks like, what your car is, and the wheel preference, and all those different things like that. So I'll stay right here. Again, you have all your buttons down here, from radio, phone, streaming, Spotify, Siri, your settings, and your music. You can keep your stations here, and if you want to bring it up to see what's playing at the time, whether it be on the radio or whatever it have you. And I normally bring it down. Next, you have all of your buttons for your phone right here to call, your calendar. You can set up there. This right here enables your back camera. That always comes on when you're in reverse, but you can also put it on at any given time if you think someone's too close to you, all that good stuff. Next up is your energy. This kind of shows you, your range versus how much you're going to get based on your driving, just like you would if you doing, miles per gallon or whatever. So the next little cool handy feature to me is your charging. This lets you know that you are charging. Same thing that you just saw up front, just a little bit more detail. We're getting 26 miles per hour. I've gained 6 since I've plugged up. This is on a 40 amp circuit, and it'll take me about an hour and 20 minutes if I stayed here to have it charged to my 90%. You can set this to whatever. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the way and get into this on next video. After that, you have web, which the internet does work on here. You have entertainment, and you have toy box. So let me close out of this real quickly. All right, so I set the entertainment mode up real quickly so you can see it's all little types of things in here. We won't go over all of it, but there is a lot of stuff in here that you can have in your toy box. Let's see. Entertainment, these are your games that you have, and all these things can be played while you're in park. To me, I think they're designed to just keep you busy while you're charging, especially if you're taking a drive or whatever and you're just sitting down charging. All right, now the Tesla is also set up very minimalistic, so it's not a lot of storage space, as you can see. I mean, you have your door, there's no kind of handles in your door. You have some cup holders right here, and that's about it. You have this long empty space right here. But that's it. I mean, there's a lot of space within the trunk. There's a lot of space within the car itself. All right, so back outside the car. As I was saying, this front trunk is deep. It's definitely bigger than the Model 3's front. But I mean, I feel like my kid or my wife could be in here. It's that big. Then we'll go around to the back. And it's just as much space. Those seats do lay down. There's a lot of people, and I do mean a lot of people that, use their Tesla to camp in. Camp mode is definitely a big thing about this car. And I think camp mode is nice, seeing that you pretty much aren't burning any gas, you're not destroying anything in the ozone layer, and you can leave your car on all night and feel good and refreshed in the morning with at least a good night's sleep, and then keep traveling on to your destination. But yeah, I think we love it. She loves it. I'm glad we got into the EV, especially with a Tesla. And now let's head on out of here. Talk a little bit about some of these driving features. So noticeably right up front, your biggest thing about these cars, like I said before, to me is just understanding your day-to-day driving. That's really it. I mean, yeah, we all want to hop in the car. We got an electric car and feel like we can just drive forever. But you got to plan your day. You have to. Like, you can't just think that, for instance, I got 141 miles now. You want to plan it out. Make sure that there's some type of supercharger destination at least 100 miles away. You never want to take off and not know where your next supercharger is. And luckily, in the great city of Austin, we have about 3 or 4 within the vicinity. Now, we do charge at home, and charging at home is pretty much good for at the end of the day. We go to sleep and wake up. But once you start really like just traveling and driving, you're gonna want to make sure that you have those. And one of the greatest things about Tesla is whenever you plug in a route, no matter where you're trying to go, they'll give you destinations of where the next supercharging location is. Well, they'll even give you destinations of where a destination charger is. And the destination charger is definitely not a supercharger, but it's still something. And I like that a lot of the supercharger places now are pretty much, connected to places where you can either shop or there's restaurants. So it gives you a good 40, 45 minutes or so of, doing something else while your car is charging. But I do like it, and I am thankful that they do have those around. So plan out your route. You can pretty much get anywhere you want. Into some of the things that you gotta be concerned with. The flagship model is their great model, but there's small things like gears and electronics that control pretty much everything. Your touch screen, you gotta think about if that goes out. You gotta think about the gears inside your door handles, because they retract inside of the door when you get out. Your mirrors fold when you get out. And a lot of those things can disrupt over time, and you have to take care of those things and pay for those. I look at it as pretty much the electronic maintenance, if you would. If you had like a gas car, you had to get your spark plugs changed every now and then, oil changes on the car, all those different things, they add up, and so do these. The first thing that I did when we first got this car, there was a 12-volt battery warning that was on here. There is a small 12-volt battery that sits in the front of the car, and that kind of controls your AC, your MCU unit, and your dash and stuff like that, your radio, all that good stuff. And it's meant to have that be controlled so that the battery power for the car under the car remains just for you driving the car. But it's still something that needed to be replaced. The good thing about Tesla, within the app, you can schedule majority of your service, and I do mean majority of your service. So for instance, that battery situation, I scheduled that on the app. The guy came out like 3 days later and got it fixed right in my garage. So the next cool feature is while you're driving, it indicates your speed. See, it says 35 miles an hour. As soon as we pass the speed limit, the speed sign right here, boom, it changed to 45. So I really love that about this car. You don't know what speed limit is. Its notification is right there for you. No reason for you not to know.
Alright, so let's jump into this app real quickly. This is what the app looks like when your car is parked, and on the left, this is what it looks like when it's charging. So this app is very intuitive. You can turn the AC on and off from outside of your car at any time. You can actually remote start your car, and you can unlock the car from the app as well. Sliding down to the climate control, this is where you can see the temperature inside of your car and then also adjust the temperature while you're not there. The small control section, you can vent your roof, your windows, unlock your door, flash your lights, your horn, start the car, open your front trunk, your back trunk, and also set your garage. There's a valet mode and a speed limit mode, which I love. You can set that if you have anyone using your car. Charging. On the left, this is what it looks like when it's charging. And on the right, this is your normal when it's not charging. This gives you destination and superchargers that are available in your area, or closest to you, I should say. Next is the service. This is what I was telling you. You can schedule any type of service within the app. They will come right out to your location. Once it's done, they'll send you an invoice, and that's tracked and kept in the app at all times. So that's the app.
So there you have it. The Tesla Model S. We love it. Maybe the smallest battery, but it's definitely worth it for its price. Can't say too much more about it. I mean, this is all factory. We haven't switched out anything in this car since we've gotten it. And the only thing that we did was we changed the front speakers, and we get ready to change the back speakers. And that's because, it was a used car. The person who had it before played the radio too loud and blew it. But other than that, changed out the speakers, and we're enjoying it. This Model S came with the panorama roof. I will caution anybody with the panorama roof, make sure you check the sealant for it so that there's no leaking in the liner. And I think that's been about it. People say they can't get over the different gaps that are in this car between the windows and the hood and stuff, but it's part of the Tesla family. Every Tesla you see has it, so nothing to be annoyed with. Just get used to it. So anyway, y'all, catch y'all on another video. We talk about charging and daily routines with your Tesla.